little
back.
too much.
So this is going to be a video. Jerry's going to give you all some tips. Jerry has 20 plus years in the game as a barber. I always got to mention it just in case you're new here, so you know that this guy has a lot of experience. But it's going to be an all-around lineup, not just the front lineup, but side, the back, around the ears.
The only thing I could tell you guys between there's like average people's haircuts and social media, Instagram, YouTube haircuts. That's gonna like determine which one you guys are doing a lot of the times. You get me? Because you can't be doing that super sharp like enhancement hairlines on everyone. Let's just be honest. The average person doesn't like that. But if you want to get big on social media and TikTok and all of that stuff, most likely you're gonna have to be pushing a little bit back than you would normally do it on a regular person. You might want to add some enhancements, but a lot of this stuff that I'm gonna show you guys is gonna be like for the average person,
everyday client,
just so get busy, get going. There's a huge difference between cutting normal people's hair and you wanting to like get big on social media, so just remember that.
So that's one of the first things too to get into is ask your client what it is they prefer, what it is they like. Don't just do what you like.
Just spraying his hair, or you could add gel.
Some people do hairspray. So we'll give you guys some, Jerry's gonna give you guys some tips on what to do, what not to do, and just how to give an overall consistent, good lineup for your everyday clients.
At this point, I have a lot of clients. Most of them are regular clients, so I don't do a lot of this stuff anymore. But when you first start, you have to kind of just comb their hair, kind of how they're gonna do it. Spin the chair over so that they can see the mirror, and then just kind of have them point out what they like and don't like about their lineup.
I just don't like being pushed back. That's all I pretty much
Push back on right here or just the sides?
I think just the sides. I think the middle's okay. They can like
take out the widow's peak.
Yeah, take out the little widow's peak.
So that's the first thing I would do, and then kind of remove your bias of what you think a good lineup is. Don't take out too much, right? Just like that.
Yeah, just the sides, right?
I mean, it's debatable whether you want to clip his hair off or not. If you do decide to clip their hair off with anything, just make sure you don't overdo it to where it's like his hair's not gonna do that. But some clients' hair, if you do it too much, like it moves. His doesn't, but it'll move his hairline a lot, and then when you let go of it, it's gonna give you like a weird shape. So if you're gonna clip it off, just try to do it as soft as you can. The Velcro ones will give you the softer look than any clips, so it'll be up to you guys. You just barely comb anything. Then your trimmers. I know everybody's like big on zero gapping their trimmers and everything. Just do it to where it's almost zero gap, but not zero gap. I promise you guys don't need to have them zero gap. You're always gonna go back with the razor, so you're gonna be fine. So I mean, now that I know, I could tell this one is like a little higher, less dense, lower, more dense. But then when you're first starting, you can't really see that. So just always ask your client. Carlos, pretend like you're gonna tell me stuff. Okay. Which one do you think is higher?
This side is a little bit more higher than this side, I've noticed.
Okay. So the one that you feel like that is higher, whether you start on that one first, second, last, whatever, just that side that's higher, you're barely gonna do anything to it, and then you're gonna match the one with the more hair to that one. But I personally like starting in the middle, and then when you're gonna place it, the trimmer, you want it pretty much like 90-degree off of the head. You're gonna go straight in like that.
Why not go more with the blade?
Like this, if it's like this and you guys do have a zero gap, the bottom of the blade is gonna like rub into his skin.
Cut
and then
him
if
up.
you go do too much, it's gonna be hard for you to see. Like at this point, I can't really see anywhere where I'm cutting. You want to just go straight. And always either go in and then come back out, or do this. Don't do none of this back and forth stuff like that, because then you're gonna make the line not straight. Remember, use the mirror a lot at this point. And go to this side. Always use your mirror when you do lineups. Try not to, in your first beginning, and try to just wing it without a mirror. And then the hardest thing to do when you're first starting, there's this weird, like this spot that I'm doing right now, you're gonna wanna like go up for whatever reason, but don't do that. You're almost wanting to come down with the clipper, and then just kind of look at it. And that's what's gonna make it look straight. Remember, if you go up at the corners, it's gonna give it like a little happy face kind of look. Once you guys get to the corners, always stop a little bit before the corners. And the same thing, you always want to go in the corners, and you want to come out that way, so you could get that sharp. Honestly, on Carlos's lineup, I'm not even gonna do this to his, because there's not much hair to take off. That I'd rather just do it with the razor. But now we have that line there, and the clients will have this tendency to keep pushing up their head like this, but that's not how they walk. They just kind of always move it like how they would be walking. And now I'm gonna exaggerate it just to keep it safe, and I'm gonna go a lot lower just to kind of explain it to you guys of what I meant. And reach the corner and come out. The corner and come out. And obviously right now it's going down like that, but this one would have never been able to look like this. So now I'm looking at the mirror, and the weird part when I do lineups, everybody, you get this. Imagine you're in this situation, right? And then you want to, the first thing I've noticed people is starting to move this one up. You don't want to do that, because even now that I'm showing you the line straight here, the moment you start doing this, you see how you're not straight. So it's never gonna look like a straight lineup. It's always gonna look going up like that. So I personally start working out here and matching this with that. But I keep my blade straight with the rest of it. My line straight. I rather have a straight line, like the blade following my straight line and going down like this, than changing the angle and then not being straight anymore. Does that make sense?
So basically follow the straight line that you created in the middle.
And keep working it and notching it out.
Yeah, the blade is straight, so just keep it straight.
Keep it straight. Right now it looks pretty close, but I feel like this side of his little C cup is a little bit higher naturally than this one. So I'm gonna go a little bit higher, so that when I go in and raise this one a little bit, it'll kind of compensate and make it look the same. And you see that's like, I pretty much didn't do much. I might have to go in on this one. But when you go in corners, it's the same thing. When it comes to doing straight lineups, you always want to use the full blade. Don't be doing this little notching. You're not gonna make a straight line using just the corners. It's almost like just using a straight, like a straight edge wherever you do it, and just go like this. You get me? That's what you're trying to shoot for, so that when you do lineups, you guys get a lot of like lineups that are not straight, because you guys open up like that. Unless the client wants it like that, most people don't.
Yeah, and it's difficult too, because you want to go with like the forehead rounds. It doesn't stay flat, so once you get over here, it's hard to keep it straight. You want to like go with the roundness of it, kind of, and it forces you to go back.
So here I'm just gonna just ever so little bit. And since I moved that one up, this side of his hair barely touch it. So now I'm just gonna go And again, when you need to do something straight, use the full blade when you're first starting. By that I mean this. Just keep doing, push it back. Don't push it too much to where you stretch it out and you cut more than you need to. You barely want to get it nice and tight. And you see how I'm going in with the corner right there, but I'm still trying to stay as straight as I can. If you put the blade too much of an angle this way, you will start going in and pushing this out. If you go too much like this when you're beginning, you're gonna push that ever so slightly over, and then it's gonna give you like a little weird bar on the side.
Most of the stuff we use is straight, so just use the straightness of it.
And here I'm gonna go under. And you see, that's what I mean by it. Your trimmers don't have to be zero gap, because you're just taking that off. The trimmers are there to put a guideline in of where your blade work is gonna go. I always like to get all these little peach fuzz from my client. Just quick, don't spend too much time on it, but
it's those little things that other barbers don't do. The little things matter. They'll set you apart.
Don't get too close to their eyebrows unless you're gonna do their eyebrows, and you could get,
especially with little kids who have a lot of peach fuzz, because then you're gonna have to do their eyebrows, because then they're gonna have
a unibrow.
Yeah.
Try to learn how to do backhand, reverse backhand, and all of those different positions if you went to school and you learned the different shaving strokes, because you see how I did that there. You could always do this, but you're always gonna have your shoulder up. For the longest time I was doing stuff like that, and then eventually your body's gonna start aching.
What about leaning them back in the chair?
If this is not comfortable enough for you, doing it like backhand like this is not comfortable for you yet, then you would just want to completely lay the chair back, and then you're gonna do a regular, well actually this is reverse backhand. So this would be, once you're laying back down and you go like that, when they're laying down, that's just regular backhand. Same thing. Keep the skin nice and tight. Try to use the full blade as much as you can to make that straight. I went a little bit down, but I'm still keeping it straight with that. Moving up, still staying straight with it. In my experience, that's gonna give you the most straight results when you use the full blade and you're following it. So now I'm gonna keep me go up a little bit on this corner right there. And at this point, I'm getting a little bit tricky. So like again, I'm gonna want to raise this side right here a little bit. I'm gonna do the same thing. Stay with it. I don't want to see this corner leave my hairline too much. In the sense of, if I was gonna go like that corner is too far apart from that, which I know is gonna make it look weird. So I'm gonna keep. I think that should be just a little bit. I mean, at this point, if we really want to get it 100% symmetrical, it's pretty good for a natural hairline. We keep pushing the tie, we're gonna get the homie out big ass. Okay. Clean it up. Go against, make sure the skin's nice and tight. Go up against the grain a little bit.
And that, my friends, is how you get a crispy line in the front.
10 out of 10.
Yeah. What do you think?
I like it.
Client reaction?
I like it. I have other experiences where I look like a vampire before with other people. I get what he means.
Like the corners get like this weird tight angle, yeah. and that just comes because you guys aren't keeping the blade parallel to your line. You guys go off of it. You guys gotta keep wherever you start that middle one, that blade has to stay with it. Like keep going. And now you
Yeah.
can make it any angle you want. But the moment you come off of it and you go do some random stuff,
That's a good tip.
That's where
Like
it's
use
gonna-
those lines as reference. That was a good tip. I never seen no one say like when that part comes off too much, you know that you're at a wrong angle.
you're gonna make it look
Yeah,
different.
it's gonna be off.
And sometimes, let me see, I'm gonna be really picky now. Me, I can see a little like belly, like a little dip right here. If you do go to you want to get it with the middle of your trimmer and just make it to where it, quote unquote, is back in line. You get me? I'm just being really picky at this point.
So for beginners, would you advise them to just not? It's better to underdo it than to overdo it.
Yeah. Pretty
And
much do their lineup.
How
as
much
nat-
time do you want to take on the lineup? Like-
Experienced barbers, 3 to 5 years, you should not be taking any more than 3 minutes and making a hairline look good.
Like a beginner barber, like if they're sitting
Beginning
there
barber.
trying to perfect it and get everything as
If you're
crispy.
taking anything more than like 6-8 minutes, you're gonna make those haircuts stretch out.
Yeah, if you want to
Remember.
get them sharp, but at the end of the day, you want to stay on time as well. So.
And
gotta
then
find
as a
that happy
beginning
medium.
barber, you guys, a lot of the times when you're a beginning barber, you're gonna have to compromise, like quote unquote, a super sharp, like amazing hairline than just a natural hairline for the client, because most clients don't want to be sitting in your chair for too long. They rather get a normal, even, good looking haircut than a super sharp, amazing haircut that took a little longer than.
And it's gonna not last as long. They're gonna have stubble within a couple days. So you got to think about the upkeep for your clients as well. That shit came out clean though. I ain't gonna lie. When I first seen his hairline, I didn't think it was gonna look like that after.
That's for the same reason, because I'm scared to get hairlines. 'Cause I feel like I'm gonna get pushed back again.
And his type of hairline is so easy to push back. But Jerry used the little hairs right there that you didn't even really see before he did the hairline. Most people might have just cut into all this shit and tried to force a lineup.
We're not gonna take too much off from here because he tries to slick it back.
He's getting there.
So the way I do, I split up this section of the hair into like 3 sections. This will be 1, this will be 2, and then this whole other, right where it stops rounding off to the bottom of his neck is another section. So,
And people don't really, at least for me, I feel like people don't think about pushbacks. They only think about this when they think about pushbacks.
around
They
the
don't
ear.
think about behind the ear. But you still are pushing people back when you go too far into that line.
so right now it's pretty grown out. Obviously, I kind of know how he likes it. He likes to get it pushed back a little bit, not too much, but I'm just gonna do it like how you would on a new client. So I would start off here. Obviously, move the ear out of the way. But when you move the ear out of the way, you want to do it where it's still like not changing the shape of his hairline.
That's a big one.
Because once you go in and you do that, and a lot of you barbers do this, and that's, I know why. Most of the time these pushbacks happen because you stretched it out too much. You want to go do the hairline, you let it go, and then it's kind of off. It goes higher than you want, and then you want to compensate and connect it. And then that's where that comes from. So you barely want to move it out of the way. So where you barely could get in with your trimmer, I'm using this corner and working it little by little.
Always staying with the line that you left behind, huh?
Yeah,
Use it for reference.
that's as much as I'm gonna do. I'm gonna let go of it, and then there'll be a little bit of overhang. Then you could just kind of go after it.
And you have to have confidence, right? Because sometimes you do have to go into the line a little bit.
But that's about it. But you see how it's gonna naturally start connecting. Move the ear out of the way a little bit.
And now you have your reference to connect.
So I'm trying to look at the point where it becomes a straight line and an arch. Earlier we had a reference point. Obviously it was this one. Now I'm gonna bring this one. I'm gonna use the other corner and just connect it.
Connect the dots.
And that's it. Now after you do your line, then you let go of the ear, and then if you do happen to see any little overhang, but right now kind of see where I'm at, Louis, the angle of my face. So I'm right here, right, doing this. I'm gonna let go, and I'm gonna switch my position so I could see overhang now. Where here I can't see overhang. You following me? Me looking at it more straight into it. Now I'm gonna go this way, and then I can see a little bit of overhang, and then that's where I do my best to make it nice and straight. I don't know if you can, hopefully you get it on the camera so that you know what I mean. Now it's cleaned up, and I barely took anything off, and that's just gonna help everything look that much, especially on pictures and videos. When if the camera was here and straight on, it's gonna look nice and clean, but the moment the camera moves around them, it's not gonna look nice and clean. So you kind of want to look at it from different angles and barely do anything to it. Here's another area where you want to use the full blade, because I stopped like right about here. You want to use the full blade and connect it like that instead of doing this. That you have a higher chance of not going straight. You get me? So just an example, when you go in, that's a straight. And that's it. And then you go in. And if it's some of you barbers who are trying to get faster at cutting hair, you've already been doing this for a bit, like 3, 5, 8 years, and you still can't work on your speed. Your speed is the only way you're gonna correct your speed when you already know what you're doing. Do less steps of that thing. So I know it sounds kind of like you're like, oh, but it's only like a few seconds, a few minutes, but to knock off 5 minutes off of a 35-minute appointment or 10 minutes, and you're doing multiple things over and over again, that's where that saving time comes in.
Yeah, it stacks up.
It stacks up, because imagine you trying to do this and you're going like this, because you're afraid or whatever, but back here you can literally just go 1, 5,
and it's gonna come out straighter.
and that same technique that I did here is what you want to do for the hairline too. You want to go in, make it straight, the least amount of passes, and use the whole blade is going to give you a straighter.
And like Jerry said, with the lineup in the front, always remember you still have your razor, so you don't need to get everything with the trimmer.
Yeah, you just gotta go
Create
quick,
the line.
fast.
Create the line, the razor's gonna clean it up.
So we're gonna do this side, same thing. Left corner on the left side.
Let's go shop speed on this side.
Oh, okay. Already. And now I'm gonna kind of look over, and all this overhang that I see, I left it towards the end now because that's what I would normally do.
Did you cut into it more than you wanted to right there?
Right here? Yeah, in the beginning, yeah.
So let's talk about that. I mean, because it happens, you know, even the most experienced barbers, when we're in the shop and we're doing things. So what do you do if that ever happens?
Not, I just leave it. I mean, good thing it's not a lot, but I'm barely gonna go underneath it.
And you could barely tell, like, don't overdo. Like, if you accidentally cut into something a little too much, don't try to freaking go in there and like now push everything back, because the razor is gonna clean all that up.
So on this one, I'm just gonna bring it back. Ever so slightly. And the least amount you push back, the less hair you have to go and work to get out.
Yeah.
So yeah, of course, if you want to make it super sharp and everything, you're gonna be there trying to line up that hair with that new hairline that you made, and it's just gonna take you that much longer.
Mm-hmm.
And then obviously for the beginning barbers, I know you're a beginning barber and you wanna go ham and start cleaning everything up with the razor. I personally don't do that anymore, even as an experienced barber. I wish somebody would have told me otherwise. I mean, I already have it in my hand, but when I'm cutting hair, I go and I line everything up. But I just use, you know how I try to follow like my little ways of only grabbing one thing once?
Mm-hmm.
We'll explain it in another video. But on this one, I'm gonna just try to get that hairline that I made. I'm not gonna focus on this too much right now.
Yeah, because you could always go in with your shaver.
I literally just go in with the shaver. I stopped doing that a long time ago because you're always gonna irritate someone's skin.
And at the end of the day, speed is,
Just
you know, it's a factor.
should be a busier barber, and then obviously I already did that, and then I would just go in and same thing here. Right now I'm working more with the corner than the full blade because I don't want to come in contact with the skin too much. So I'm just gonna go with the shaver. And even here, I didn't even go with the trimmer. I'm just gonna stay same thing, full blade.
Follow the straight lines.
So you want it round or square back here real quick?
Oh, swear.
So just ask him round or square. Same concept. On this one, you gotta kind of judge it yourself, which is higher, which is lower. Back here is pretty even, in the sense that these are pretty even. But you see how he has a little like natural, and it goes back down. You want to start wherever the highest of,
where it's darkest, or where it starts to get darkest.
right here. I start right here, same thing. 90 degrees out, bring it down a little, and look at it. Try to make your first initial line with the whole blade.
And that's gonna be your reference to each side.
Each side.
To help keep it straight.
But even you see how it rounds off right here in his neck? I'm going straight with the blade like that. And I even have to go move it like that, you get me? I'm rounding it with the head shape, not the hairline.
And these are all areas where if you do have your tool zero gap, which you shouldn't as a beginner barber, you want to be very careful because you're going to cut people, especially doing what Jerry just showed you.
And then the only one, maybe other reason why this one looks like it's cutting like a zero gap trimmer is because my blades are a little thinner than most people because I sharpen my own stuff, so it makes the blades thinner. So it doesn't have to be as zero gap to get pretty close. And then here, same thing. Grab your shaver, clean it up as good as you can so that the only area you have to deal with is on the hairline, the hairline you made with your razor. And honestly, I do this more of to not irritate people's skin than it is because to save time, but I really do it so I don't want them walking out of here with their neck
cut up
fired
and bumpy. Even though Jerry does like to spray people down and see their reactions at the end.
Aftershave. I'm gonna actually start doing a bunch of this.
Compilation.
But see, again, I'm doing backhand, reverse backhand. The sooner you get yourself to feel comfortable with this kind of technique to clean hairlines up, it's gonna make everything a lot faster, quicker. And that's it.
That's it, huh? So drop a comment down below if you guys have any questions on this. Also, you know, video ideas of things that you want to see. Like I said before, I always say it, there's a lot of experience in this shop.
The thing I want to do is just kind of show you guys things, not necessarily show off my skills. Just try to teach you guys so you guys could come up with your own way of cutting hair. So you guys could be good at that way of cutting hair. But that's it.
Carlos?
10 out of 10 experience.
Yeah.
Don't like pushbacks. Never did, never will. I get
He's just saying that he's getting with my sister.
I used to get a lot of pushbacks around the ear. I wouldn't really like that.
The McDonald's. So I took off the neck strip, and here there's always gonna be hairs. The furthest I'll go is wherever their shirt lays after. I always like to tuck this part in, so that in case if it does get a little bit of hairs, it'll pop back out. But I personally don't like using the razor over here. I know it's gonna be a little controversial that the razor gets closer, and unless you completely prep this shit and you're putting lather, you're putting a bunch of stuff, and you're actually shaving the right way, yes, technically it does get a little closer. You get me? But the shavers nowadays will do just fine. So I just go and take off all the stubble, all the peach fuzz, and grab my shaver and just finish it. It even got a little, his still got a little red even after I'm over here taking a little time and not having a zero gap trimmer. Who's aftershave?
That's fine, we don't have it.
Right here.
Steal some. I don't know, put mine.
Now for the moment we've all been waiting for. He's trying to hold in the reaction.
He had.
It's
We
okay.
have the other,
Let it
the other
out.
video.
Let it out.